dozen. I think this is the biggest game of AFL they've ever hosted. They've had a handful of finals here. It's actually the 449th game, but there's never been a build-up quite like this one, and a feeling with the roof over the top.
Nick, this is Herb.
Hey, hello, Nick. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Tom, you're the away side, so you get to call, mate, whenever you're ready. Herb? Heads is the call, and it's a tail. Thanks, guys.
So Nick Revolt wins the toss. Herb's one lucky guy today. Out there with the coin. Let's go down and join Ricky. Ricky, geez, when we found out about Steve Johnson, it was a big one.
Oh, yeah, when the news went around the stadium before the game, Bruce, there's a lot of stunned Geelong fans. Actually, everyone thought that it was going to be Shannon Burns that wouldn't play in today's game. You'll see Shannon's got a very heavily bandaged left thumb, but Stevie J trained with the group yesterday morning and had some tightness around his hip, so they decided to rule him out. And St Kilda also thought that David Wojcinski would come into the side and not Simon Hogan. But, geez, the atmosphere, you can actually cut the tension with a knife, boys. It feels like a heavyweight title fight, and the wait is over. It's going to be a super game.
Rick, just about the surface itself, Tim was talking about the fact the roof was left open overnight. Is it quite slippery, quite damp, or is it okay?
No, it's actually dried out over the last hour or so, Dennis, but it's the same for both sides, and they're that good, it won't bother them whatsoever.
Put my mind at ease. I'm not going out to play. The two coaches, what a day it is for them. Bomber Thompson, well, I suppose he's been freewheeling for a while. Now a big test. I think that man's a key. Michael Gardner.
It's his 30th birthday today.
Happy birthday to him. And I think if you're going to attack Geelong at their weakness, probably Gardner is the man that really needs a big game to service his runners and midfielders and put the pressure on Geelong's defence.
Both teams have walked to their positions. There's been no argy-bargy, no pushing and shoving, none of that sort of false bravado. I think they both know the discipline of actually putting the body on the line when the first contest comes. That's what they're all about.
Well, I think Tom Hawkins heard you.
Maybe spoke too soon.
Wouldn't Geelong love him to play a big game? Ray's on the scene.
Fisher has gone to Chapman, and I thought Rook might have taken him in a defensive forward role. Rook's lined up against Raphael Clark.
And that roar reverberates around this stadium. We're underway. Clash of the top two, both undefeated. Mumford got a hand to it. Graham taken down strongly. In comes Hayes. Bit of a skirmish.
And Cam Mooney came in really hard off the line.
Not unexpected.
Jones has gone to Ablett.
Gardner locks up with Mumford. Eventually, Mumford got a hand clear, spills out of the pack. Joel Corey, Bartell, down towards half forward. Chapman checking off the ball. Had it knocked away by Fisher. Raph Clark in front. Chapman almost beat a couple. Close to the boundary line. Stokes. An Irish whip into the fence.
It's an interesting matchup of Fisher on Chapman. I mean, Chapman's a good mark of the footy. Fisher's going to trouble him in the air, clearly.
So Mumford, who starts today, Goddard, Gilbert, good sidestep, and then with a long kick to centre wing, Revolt couldn't quite get to the mark and then couldn't take the half volley. It was a difficult one. Enright getting it back from Taylor, and then Harley. Well, they turned it over here unusually. Clark, just a handful of games this year coming back today. Graham, gee, that's a bad miss by Cozzy.
That miss was bad enough, but the first one was the miss of Milne. Milne actually had run into space at half forward.
So the four-time All-Australian with a job on one of the informed forwards in the competition. The Scarlet retreats and back to Harley.
And the problem for the Saints too, Kozeski compounded his error by giving away the free kick. Here's Burns, who's been in splendid form. 15 goals in his last 5 games. It took him 3 seasons to get 15. Down goes Harley. Strong tackle. Milne. Taken by Jones. First goal of the afternoon.
Game, Tom Harley took them out and said, just relax, guys, another day. But he's had an awkward start, the captain.
It's been a nervous start, really, for both sides. Even St Kilda, when they had control of the ball going forward, they didn't do what they could have done.
And that's a bonus. Jones getting a goal early. He's got the mammoth job on Ablett. Dal Santo with a clearance. Schneider and Mackie back to Revolt. And then the left foot wasn't pretty, but he's got it inside 50 to Milne. Back Montagna off one step. He had a lot more time than that. Turned it over to Bartel. Geelong love to go up the corridor, and they're about to do so. Selwood's little one. Missed though by Stokes. Gilbert, and now Fisher to set it up for the Saints. Well, he can almost go all the way here. He's given it a ride. Milne waits, but rules come from nowhere.
Inside. Straight out. Hurry, just here, mate.
And the captain kicks the second. What an explosive start.
It's been a nervous start by the Cats too. Selwood missing that kick to Burn in the middle of the ground. That forced a turnover. And then that is a great sign there, right there for St Kilda though. Fisher running off half-back and kicking the ball into the attacking zone. We know how courageous Nick Revolt is. He goes back with the flight of the ball and takes marks. He's done that right throughout his career. That is just a spectacular jump and leap, and there is nothing a defender can do to stop that.
The first mark for St Kilda this afternoon, certainly a memorable one. The captain going back with the flight of the ball, not the first time. It gives him a total of 123 for this season. And bear in mind, last week they were goalless in the opening term against the Tigers. Amazing. A bit of stimulation as this ball floats down towards half forward from Goddard. Fisted in front by Mackie, taken by Jones. Goes back to Goddard. Goddard on the wing. Spearing kick. Oh, what a beauty. Kazitsky. Man on the mark is on the 50. Interesting matchup that, Harley and Milne. Kazitsky, though, hoping to bypass the pair. It'll take a good kick from here. Kicks from 55. Has it got the carry? This will be touch and go. Well, it just fell to a man standing there. It was one of those drive-past goals. Gardner.
Oh, that's always... they've certainly started St Kilda quite obviously. They got the three first goals onto the scoreboard, but that goal line mistake, I mean, the ball was just clearly there to be knocked through, but somehow it looked a lot like it bounced off the post, but nevertheless, the goal's been allowed.
Oh, I reckon it did bounce off the post.
It has bounced off the post. Nevertheless, it's on the scoreboard.
Turns 30 today, as we said. Well, he's had a birthday present there. I think that looked like it came off the post, didn't it?
And at the moment, Geelong are just being smashed around these stoppages. Early days yet, but they just can't get their hands on the ball. Goddard's
kick was telling, wasn't it? From half back. So a 3-goal lead here. Chapman got it from Mumford to half forward. Gilbert. So a couple of early touches. He ran out of bounds. It'll come back.
Got a feeling he deliberately ran out of bounds. That's one way of that subtle. Taking the ball out, take a step over the line and pretend to kick it.
Looks like Rook may actually now be playing that defensive role on Fisher too.
Mumford and Gardner. Graham, well, he's got a fair bit on that. Revolt, well, he's in sparkling early form, the captain. Inboard, McWalter, Graham in trouble.
Too long. Go. On the full, Joel Selwood. Go. That's it.
Joel Selwood at half-back then. Certainly a controversial last goal to the Saints. It appeared to bounce off the post. Back to Michael Gardner. Mackie. Selwood pushing through midfield. Straight into Schneider. Vacant goal square. Montagna running back. Montagna is 30 metres in the clear. He's let it run on too far. Now he's got a problem. Milne dragged down. They saved the day.
Hold it.
It hit the post, did it?
Hold it.
I think it might have.
Hit the post. He hasn't signalled yet. That's why.
A fumble onto the post. Montagna wanted that ball to sit, and it would not.
And another kicking error by Selwood too in the middle of the ground.
When Geelong have the ball in this part of the ground, there's going to be a lot of St Kilda bodies in the centre square. They're going to concede, allow the outside space, but just protect the centre square.
So Ling with a long one. They've got some numbers here, the Cats. Bartel to Stokes, and then Stokes' kick trying to penetrate. Dawson taking no chances. Awkward ball for Blake. He'll be happy for it to go out.
That was a really interesting kick then too from Ling off half-back, because they know that Geelong press, they come up really high and force you into a situation where you're going to have trouble finding space. They kick the ball long, and that's where the space was over the back.
Blake on the ground. Hayes' little handball didn't go far. Enright back to Corey, back inside the 50. Varco and Gilbert. He's had a good start, Gilbert. He's had a very good season. A good 2 or 3 seasons. That kick, Kosicki leaves it for Milne. Scarlett committed. Little give by McWalter. Jones clever. McWalter's little kick. Cossey's got it.
1 more metre, Darren. 1 metre.
McWalter runs on. Kosicki thinks about it.
Darren, where your left foot is. Thank you. There.
Well, in St Kilda, they've really just handled this early game pressure tremendously well. They just are thinking their way through the pressure situations. Their skills have been good. All of a sudden, it's the Geelong team that are just looking like the pressure of the occasion. They haven't quite got their rhythm yet.
He's been accurate this year, Kosicki. 31-10 before today. Now, his first shot was a good one. He was just a little bit too far out. This one, he struck perfectly. So the big guns are kicking goals and the Saints are away.
Almost a look of resignation on the face there of Bomber Thompson. Right now, his men looking too lazy to work and too nervous to steal. This is a remarkable start to the game. Blake goes up, knocks it down. Joel Corey back to Blake. Blake kicks inside the forward 50. In front, St. Kilda. Blake just chips it to Dawson, short of half back. So far, they've had all the answers. They, the Saints, look like the season campaigners. Dawson goes out very wide, right on the boundary. McAvoy in place of Gardner. Massive crowd. Short. Well, everything coming off.
Right there, Mark's it.
Lenny Hayes. Montagna runs into a dead end, tries to go back to Hayes, a fumble. Stokes stood his ground, got a hand pass away. Forward by Bartel, unable to handle it in right. Loose ball, Saints around the footy. Socket off the ground by Jones, tracks his own ball. Good aggressive running. Jones picks it up just inside the line, runs to the defensive 50. No one really to kick it to. Not a bad effort over the head of Hogan. Del Santo. Now that's a lot of Cats.
That is a lot of Cats, and Del Santo, who's been picked up by Ling too. When the ball was at the other end of the ground, Del Santo took the ball right, or took himself right into the forward line and made it a long run between him and Ling to the ball.
Burns from Chapman. It's a good tap by Blake. In right on the up to Ablett, to Kelly, to Milburn. They're trying to build, and they do to Rook. Still in the heart of the centre square. Rook unloads. Hawkins in a good spot. Well done. Blake building it away. Gee, 9 months in footy. You think last night the Premier were outscored 9-0 in the opening quarter, and at the moment it's 4-0 with the other preliminary finalists doing it to the grand finals.
I'd be very pleased with his first 10 minutes of Jones on Ablett. Jones has been prepared to leave Ablett to go and help his teammates, and they haven't been in the centre square yet, I don't think. Certainly the last 2 or 3.
Geary was the third man up there. McAvoy was the target. Enright, good one. Rook inside, and within distance, you would think.
He's been dangerous in the last couple of minutes, just finding space and holes.
And he can kick a goal. He's kicked more goals this season than in any other Rook. In fact, he kicked a goal in each of the first 10 rounds this season, so they need it here, the Cats. Tight angle. It's not going to be that major.
Timely fist from Goddard. Now Geelong need to find a goal here. Interesting view of the action. Boundary throw in. Blake laid it down. Ball. Hogan. Hand pass in Hope. Plenty of Saints around the footy. Blake gave it to Del Santo. They work it away back to Blake. Now Fisher involved, sends it towards the outer side half-back flank over the top. Milburn, too easy, set up for him. Boundary throw in. 24 points the margin midway through the term on a Sunday afternoon at Etihad Stadium. A lot of Australia waiting for this one. Now it's on. It started in unexpected fashion, charging the pack down there. Dawson got a fist on it, knocked it outside the defensive 50. Goddard went to ground. Ablett gave it to Burns. Varco, little look away hand pass. Stokes to the middle. Can Chapman mark it? Well, Chapman had hands in the back.
Hand in the back. Stephen Baker. Stephen Baker, hand in the back.
He's wounded too. He's hurt himself, Baker. So Del Santo takes it. Careful kicking style of Del Santos. Harley should pick it off, and he does. Geelong getting good numbers at the moment. I know they're 4 goals down. Chapman kicks to the pocket. And again, Gilbert having a wonderful opening turn.
Just saw Harley on Geary too. Geary's instruction is to move up the ground. What they're trying to do is they're isolating Harley so that he can't give back and help out Scarlett and also Harry Taylor. David Parkin, interested onlooker there.
And the men who have captained and coached a premiership team.
Come on, guys, Helton.
And certainly in this first half of the first quarter, the St Kilda defensive mechanisms are more than holding up.
Well done, Blake, but only as far as Ray. Fisher so important in the St Kilda structure. Doesn't want to give it up. He's got nowhere to go, really. He's going to have to draw some players to him. Montagna, who leads the competition in long kicks, and that was a magnificent one to Kaczynski.
One target to go to, and he hit him.
Might have dropped his first chance, but the last couple have been telling. In short.
Thanks, Max.
Ball feeds it back towards centre half back. Fisher. Saints controlling the game. Up by 24. And feeling good about themselves. Dawson, Ralph Clark. Half-distance kick. Graham continues along the line. Blake has got it now at the interchange gates. Not much up ahead. So Blake maybe will kick down towards the 50. Well, which one? He goes back. Ralph Clark. Need to be careful. Not 15. It was an early call. Strong tackle by Burns, and the ball sandwiched between the pair.
Down to you, Ricky.
Just an update on Stevie Baker. Copped a nasty cork in the quad in that last marking contest. So he's come off the ground for a rest. Got an important role, though, picking up the small forwards of Geelong.
Blake winning a lot of taps. Ablett did very well to hold up in the tackle, and then Bartel just tapped it down to Ling, and Del Santo coming from nowhere. Now, it's not much advantage here, but they've played it. And Milburn, good tackle. Schneider, who took him down. Hayes, inboard. Schneider's little gift. Del Santo, can he deliver? He was under pressure. Cozzy on the up. The handball's good. Gardner doesn't get a lot on it. Revolt can't quite get to Bartel. He put pressure on him. Kelly, Bartel, Selwood, Ling. Pressure. Gardner got a tap on it. Fisher goes for goal and kicks it. That will hurt.
Margin out to 5 goals. Mark Thompson, just for the moment, at his wits' end. Can't believe the start his men have made. It's been pretty insipid. Gardner out of the middle, back on the ground after his rest. Up goes Milburn, got a fist to it. Selwood in trouble, arches the back, fell to ground. Hot one for Mackie. He's over the football. Mackie taken down, Selwood goes after it. Revolt got a boot on it, Ling fed it back. Then right over the top. Real pressure now. Corey went back towards the boundary. Revolt left the ball behind. Ling goes in. At close quarters to Kelly. Kelly a sweeping hand pass across the front of goal. Milburn trying to clear the zone. Kicks it out towards the defensive 50. Scarlett did well. Goes with the side foot up towards the wing. Pursues his own ball. Picked up beautifully by Fisher. Comes back to Ralph Clark. Missed the mark. Plenty of time. Not 15. Ray. He gets away. Across the ground is Gilbert. He'll use him now. Gilbert meters in the clear. He can run at them. More trouble for Geelong. Gilbert through midfield. Goes looking for Revolt. that ball loose at the back. Geary, Schneider. He just missed.
It was curling. Well, so much heat on Geelong in the back 50, isn't it?
Well, St Kilda's pressure at the moment, Geelong just are not coping with the energy and the pressure that is being imposed on the footy, anywhere near the footy.
Sam Fisher's already had 8 touches more than any player on the ground. That's a bad sign for Geelong. They're going to have to clamp down on him.
Goddard was terrific.
Go on, he's back. Stephen Mills, late and he's back in here.
So against Enright, and the good thing from the Saints' point of view, they're actually putting it on the board too. Not only are they dominating now, they're actually getting reward on the scoreboard.
Same number of inside 50s. Have had 10 apiece.
On the ball. I asked you to take him out and you didn't take him out. It's not my fault. No, I told Goddard to take him out. He didn't. It's not my fault. Mark's there.
Gee, the game's changed. Selwood's kick wide. Mooney.
Is it not yet? Not yet.
Can he impose himself? Ablett leads, so they pushed Ablett forward.
They just control the centre corridor in their back 50 so well. St Kilda, they've done it so far this year, and they're certainly doing it again today.
Wanted to take Jones on. Jones was up for it. Now Burns. Gee, they're flirting with danger. And that's another big win for the Saints.
Straight back this way, guys.
They had 16 players back then, St Kilda, defending that part of the ground.
Umpire Vozzo, as the coaches look on. Nice line, working hard, still working those phones. Joel Corey, Stokes goes back in. Right, who's been industrious. 7 possessions. This makes 6 for Selwood. That's better. That's better.
That was great vision then from Selwood.
You're right.
He was standing in that hole for maybe that 5 seconds, and it was a matter of could any Geelong player get the footy and have the awareness and the skill just to pop it on his head. And it was Selwood. He's just got fantastic vision. He sees exactly what's ahead of him, and Burns was clearly on.
Shannon Burns has been lighting it up recently. This one working back left to right, but it stays left of the high.
Mightn't be their day, you know. He hasn't missed from a set shot this year, Burns, until now. 6 for 6.
That's Geelong's 9th inside 50 entry for 2 behinds.
So Goddard to Hayes. McWalter did well. Dawson, Graham.
Cool.
Gee, that was cool.
Gardner.
And now Gardner's on from Gilbert. He's made it. So he'll wait. Gilbert's running hard inside. Revolt stationary for the moment. Gardner called to go on. Now Gardner puts it up in the Revolt direction. Mackie with him for the moment. Corey got back really well.
Mark's here.
Dangerous kick. Marked by Hogan. Just his second game, as we said. He's coming for Steve Johnson. Mackie got rid of it in a hurry. Bartel to Burns. They push forward, but Fisher has been the outstanding player in the opening term. Marks at half-back.
Saw him moments ago get his first goal of the season, the 10th of his career. He's doing it at both ends. Goes to the outer side. The umpire, Del Santo, got it from Blake. Just feeds it back outside. Fisher very deliberately places it onto the boot. Goddard, Del Santo pushes between 2 cats. Kicks inside the forward 50. Joel Corey's in the road. Comes back to Chapman. Can they mount something here? Stokes cruising past Taylor. Back to Stokes. Stokes is running hard. Goes beyond the wing. Varco. It was intended for Ablett. Chipping in was Gilbert. Getting a hand pass away. Jones. Well done, Blake. Taken by Baker. Goes wide looking for Gardner, but it runs away from him and goes out of bounds.
Just have a look at the moment, Geelong, that when they do go into their forward 50, they haven't really got a forward who looks like able to win a contest, and the St Kilda defence just keeps clearing it.
Knocked down in front by Geelong, but picked up by Goddard over the top. Farron Ray is running out of defence, and McAvoy meters in the clear. Gee, the Cats are getting carved up like a magician's assistant at the moment.
Revolt, the target. Terrific second effort. Well done, Mackie, who's actually on Revolt. Here's Taylor. Back to Milburn. Just need a goal, the Cats, just to kick-start themselves here. They're getting plenty of the ball. Ling, well, that's just symbolic of what's been happening. McWalter with a bit of time to think about it. Fisher, Baker. Well, Stevie Baker hasn't kicked a goal this year either. Misses. Should have drilled it. We'll have a look at that. Maybe he's couldn't have a good look at the goal.
His GPS was out.
Yep. So Baker comes from the ground. But this pressure from St Kilda.
It's been brilliant. And this is the way they began the season too, St Kilda. I reckon they've dropped off maybe in the last month or so. Ross Lyon said as much during the week. But they are primed in the early stages of this game. And I don't think that Geelong have actually got themselves settled enough.
Oh, no.
And
thank you.
They appear to be rattled, and Bomber Thompson, I'm sure he's thinking as he sits in the coach's box that quarter-time break just can't come quickly enough for him.
So Milburn going for distance. Bartell almost falls in front. Chapman stood there, did well. Again, great pressure. Graham applied a tackle. Hand pass came from Ling, though. Kicked up towards the wing by Chapman. Stokes. Ablett is moving. He goes in that direction. Why not? Stars attract the footy, but he wins the footy. Ablett's away, and now he's getting 50. Oh, the barest of touches.
I think he played on. I think he was very unlucky, Jones.
So the first goal about to be registered for the Cats after a long wait, 2.5 minutes from quarter time, in controversial fashion. He puts it through.
Maybe the lucky break the Cats were looking for. They were going forward. It was a sellout a couple of weeks ago. Over 50,000 under the roof, and Geelong get their first goal. Very deep into this opening term. Jones sort of hacked it forward with a hand pass, if that makes sense. It went about 30 metres. Chapman's been busy, put himself into the centre square. Ablett. Bull had the first look at it, then Geary. They've been quite happy to switch it up, and they've done it well. Schneider's on from Montagna. And Schneider can wait for it and then go. Decides to kick straight away to Revolt. Taylor with him, and Revolt went to ground, so that's a good win for Taylor. Back in board, Bartell. Going to ground, Fisher. Looks like Rook's gone there to him. He's gone, Rook.
You had a prime opportunity, went to go, and then he grabbed you. You could have got it out before then. Hold the ball up again.
It's a tough nut, Rook, but a moment ago we saw the closing speed of Harry Taylor too on Revolt. Revolt looked like had him done. But his ability just to gather him over the last couple of steps.
He might be tough, Tim, but he won't talk the umpire out of his decision.
Milburn stood still and lost everybody. Kick was smothered, gave it to Hogan eventually, who drives around the outer side, bounces close to the boundary, knocked across by Fisher. They had to do something about Fisher, so Rook has gone there now. Fisher 11 possessions so far. So boundary throw in, approaching quarter time. Blake has done well decisively. Down to Ablett to Varco. Varco is through. Varco 35 metres out. He's going to get another chance.
High tackle. Back here.
He missed the initial shot. It's a high tackle, not a relayed free kick.
Sir, do you want the free kick or the point?
Well, even I could answer that.
Just ask him, does he want the point or the free kick?
That's a hard decision.
If you were stuck for an answer, you'd be dropped next week.
Hang on, can I phone a friend?
So Varco, his confidence is on the rise in recent games. This would be nice. Against everything that's happened, Geelong have kicked a couple.
Productive couple of minutes for the Cats here. Varco's goal on the back of Ablett's. And the margin closing. Steve Johnson not playing today. He played 58 consecutive games. Hip injury. Geelong have won 55 of those 58. Ablett from Blake was a beautiful tap. Clark, well, looked like he had it covered. Gilbert and Fisher, they've been so good down back. And Goddard also, who doesn't need a lot of the ball to make things happen. Goddard's kick is okay. Finds Geary. They'll probably want to sit on it now, the Saints. Gilbert, Blake. Oh, what a stunning opening we've seen. Massive build up to this game. It hasn't been this week. It's been for literally for weeks and weeks and weeks as they've been counting down. And the Saints kicked the first 5 goals. But the Cats did come back. And at quarter time, you can cut the excitement with a knife right now. It's 5-2, 33-14. This is Sunday Footy. Was the single one, Revolt's stunning mark, and St Kilda kicked the first 5 goals and they lead Geelong 33-14 at quarter time. So much for Mark Thompson to think about, but he would have been pleased with the last 5 minutes because they pegged them back a bit. Ablett's goal and Varco's, and the damage on the scoreboard has been reduced. Earlier this year, Collingwood led Geelong by 20 points in a match we did on a Friday night, and the Cats got back. So Tom Harley has been put under great pressure, this Geelong defence. Harley under extreme pressure early in this match. Michael Voss, they'll be playing against Geelong next Saturday night, Brisbane. And John Worsfold and Peter Sumich, they'll be playing against St Kilda next Sunday night in the late game in Perth.
Pretty upbeat up there, I would imagine, after yesterday.
It's probably the only stat that's in Geelong's favour, but they've had 15 inside 50s now. St Kilda are minimal keeping teams to around 40 for a whole game, so at least they are getting the ball into their attacking zones. So obviously the score hasn't come just yet.
And we have been told that
just looking there at Mooney and Hawkins in the background, just one touch between their 2 key forwards so far in Geelong.
So let's go down to Ricky Ollerenshaw with Ross Lyon.
Ross, can you believe how well your team started? You just blew them out of the water.
Oh, look, we got our hands on the footy and moved it pretty quickly, and, you know, we were pretty efficient with it, so it was positive. But, you know, I think we had 19 tackles, so our pressure was good, and it was pretty typical of what we've been about all year. So, you know, but it's a new challenge now. It's 1 game out of 4, really, so we've got to reset and get going because they're a great team.
Just a couple of fascinating matchups, in particular Jones on Ablett. Ablett's now dragging Jones deep. Is that making you nervous?
No, we planned for that. We're going to accept that, and we'll wait till it really bites us on the arse. We thought he's a bit stiff, you know.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Ross. Start.
Good on you, Rick. Interesting, Tim, you said, what are you laughing about? He can say that. He's a coach. They're allowed to do that. You said 1 touch between Hawkins and Mooney. Now, I'm not that smart, but I know that one guy then hasn't got a touch. Can you name names?
Well, it's Cam Mooney that's got the touch so far, and it's Tom Hawkins that hasn't. So I'm sure Bomber Thompson, in all that he had to say at quarter time, he would have been asking for a greater effort from his 2 key forwards.
Well, it hurt them in the grand final up forward.
It looks like they've gone back to only the one big guy. Hawkins is going to start the second quarter on interchange, so Mooney and that medium-sized brigade. Gee, they'd love Steve Johnson to be there just about this point.
I'd say. And if you were selling it to the Cats at quarter time, you'd be saying what a wonderful win this could be. If they come back from here, or where they were halfway through the term, then they really make a statement. Not beyond them. Bad bounce. Gardner to Jones. Ling hurriedly onto the boot. Raf Clark in best position, got a fist on it, helped on its way by Del Santo. Crashing the pack, Ablett taken to ground. Bartel has got it. Hayes has got him. Jimmy eventually released it. Ablett, Corey to half forward. Well, 4 fists up. Chapman in front, knocked it Geelong's way. Graham's over the football. A big scramble at right half forward, and the umpire will ball it up. The umpires this afternoon, Vizo, Roseberry and Chamberlain, and congratulations to them too, because they must be the best getting this one.
Blake did well when he came on in the first quarter in the ruck. Stokes to Ablett, to Corey, to Harley. Good sidestep, and then high ball in. Gardner's got his eyes on it. Well, Clark didn't really help him in a way. Del Santo to Blake. So some pressure on the Saints early. Good kick by Blake. Found Dawson.
Graham's running.
You've seen him now. He's a good kick, Dawson, isn't he? So Graham is the #1 player for taking the ball inside the 50 for the Saints. To McWalter. His forward pressure's been a key to their success this year, McWalter. Good kick. And nobody takes more marks than Revolt on the burst.
And what's been really impressive about the way Geelong have actually been played by St Kilda in their forward line, they've been able to break up their back six. They've been able to take them and disperse them to different parts of the ground, which has opened up the space for them when they have gone forward.
So Kazitsky and Revolt a couple between them in the opening term. It's a difficult kick. He's done a good job. He's struck it beautifully.
Started the game with a great mark, then a great kick right there. This game on tune. Brilliance in the grandstand, just looking on. He can't help his mates now. Blake won it down. Gardner, good second effort towards half forward. Ricochets off Mackey, back inside the centre square. Jones tackled by Ablett. Mackey stood his ground, coming front on was Schneider.
Just play, Clint, don't wave your arms.
Interesting mini contest going down in Geelong's forward line. Rook is trying to get to Fisher. Fisher's trying to get to Chapman. It's a little contest within itself down there.
Blake is doing okay in these tap-outs, although Gardner wins this one decisively into the path of Hayes, tackled by Bartel. Comes out, Ablett's over the ball, Goddard over him, Selwood left it behind. Joel Corey at the base of that pack.
Footy, he didn't dive on it, he was trying to win the footy.
When I see these pack situations and someone lying on the footy, in the back is one of the primary rules of the game, surely. There's about 3 blokes sitting on his back.
Umpire Chamberlain bounces it again. Falls to Goddard. Caught that, Jimmy. Selwood goes after it. Stokes could have almost got a free. Well done, Hogan. Gave it across to Blake. Blake floats it down towards half forward. Now there's holding. And Cam Mooney will get a free. I venture to say too far out to score. Although...
No, you grab your mod at the start, mate.
Well, he quickly goes on. Rooks the target. Big fly. Spread the pack. Hogan and Burns lurking. Still with Hogan. Going for goal. And across. 4 behind.
Fascinating battle unfolding in the midfield too. When these two sides met in the finals last year, Geelong just completely out-muscled St Kilda, but they've really improved in that area, and it's become a real arm wrestle.
So Del Santo. Little one wide. Fisher.
Oh, there, Joel!
As Lee said, Rook's been desperate to try and get to Fisher, but Blake's been covering for Fisher, and Fisher's been going to Chapman. He set so much up early, didn't he, Fisher? Including that goal. So Blake's free kick. They started with Mumford, the Cats, but Blake's been very good. Back to Mackey. Just plays with a long one, and then Gilbert had a fair bit of it and then runs off. Back to Montagna. Montagna's kick's a beauty. Wide. McWalter, because he's on here. Now you look up and see Revolt in a 1-on-1. Revolt takes off. He decides not to go there. He's going to wait for reinforcements.
It was great running by Selwood. Graham was just running to the open space, but Selwood just put his head down, got to him.
So decides to go long, and then Taylor gets rid of Revolt and paves the way for Mackey.
And that's where they're good. That third man up in a contest, Geelong.
Mackey drives it to the opposite pocket, and Ling. Mooney is moving. He's got it. They need him. As you can see, a long way from goal.
And a lot of bodies in the centre square. They've just got to make sure Geelong cannot get through that centre square attack, which is their favourite method.
Not a bad result if it goes out. It does. It was intended. Low down and hard to Varco, who spoke about the massive crowd.
They've been told it's the biggest ever for an AFL game. Officially at the moment it's over 54,000, which breaks the previous best of 53.5 for Carlton Hawthorn a couple of years ago.
Here at the Dome, or Etihad Stadium. There's Hayes. Kicks beyond the wing, down towards half forward. Revolt approaches it. Harry in his hip pocket. Revolt turn that hip pocket inside out. Runs back on the footy. Kicks inside the forward 50. Kazetsky almost. Mackey under the hammer. Loose ball at the back. Picked up by McWalter. Down he went. Was that in the back? Over the top of Kelly was Montagna. Kelly somehow got the ball out. Chance for Goddard. Came strongly. Bouncing off a would-be tackler Selwood. Gave it to Kelly. Stokes. Kelly. Now they can build. Ling reels it back in like a fisherman. Drives from half back towards the outer side. Oh! Terrific mark by Rook. Wants to go. Running hard as Chapman. Can Blake get there in time? No. Chapman, will he go? Nobody in the square. Clever kick. It comes back towards Cam. And the Camster launched himself.
No.
You've got to go back and kick it.
Well, you're going to have to earn every metre of space today.
Goes to Bartel.
That ball that Selwood won at half-back was just outstanding. That got them going.
And the Rook contested mark, and even Chapman's mark was virtually a contest. There was two St Kilda players closing. I mean, the pressure on this, every contest and every player with the footy is what the guys have to cope with. And they're great standard game under that pressure.
You'd like your cholesterol to read as low as the confidence in terms of Cam Mooney kicking at goal. If you could register that and somehow measure it, Cam is at 0-0, I reckon.
Yeah, it's hard to say that Bartel had better percentages than Mooney. Probably about half.
Cam's probably looking at Jimmy and saying, I could have done that.
And when you get the ball, if you're Jimmy, it's probably a bit sweaty coming from Cam.
Del Santos kicks off the hook a bit there. Geelong had worked so hard for that shot at goal, hadn't they? Here's Schneider and on his mill. Now this could be interesting. You know he'll take off. Does the right thing. In short to McWalter. Well, you don't see that too often. Geelong were opened up there, weren't they?
Well, basically what happens when there's a full zone protecting the kick in, if you can maintain possession and move the ball reasonably quickly, McWalter really come from one flank to the other to get into the space in between the zone.
He's kicked a goal in 10 of his 13 matches this year. His forward pressure's been terrific. He leads the Saints in tackles inside the 50. He struck that well, and the Saints get the first two of the second term.
He's had 10 touches too, McWalter. He's been a busy player in the early stages of this game.
That can be the problem. You lock down on the big names and suddenly those other fellas, the anonymous players, get loose. Bartel, Ablett has been given no peace. Ling trying to get the arms free. Jones did well holding the ball against Ling. Careful.
Should have gone after Ling, haven't they? Every time he's got control of the ball, they've been on to him. They're forcing him to hurry his possession.
Kick inside the forward 50. Mark is taken by Scarlett. Scarlett comes away then. Telling kick. Burns having to hold up. Wants to go. The movement coming from Chapman. He's marked about 55 metres out. Mooney goes to the pocket. Awkward half volley coming up. Can he keep it in? Was he pushed to the back? No. And no, it's out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
And they've slowed Geelong down, St Kilda this afternoon, as much as any side has. And go back to the finals last year, Hawthorn. That was their theme going into the grand final, about the shark and just slowing it down.
So Del Santo over the top of it.
He didn't dive on it. He drilled him with his head down, but thanks, Nicky.
Hawkins back on for the Cats. Mumford did well, and here is Ling. And I think it might be a mark to Fisher. Just inside the line. He's going to go for Gilbert or Ray. Take your pick. Good effort there by Hawkins. He's just come off the interchange. Got the ball out. Del Santo was terrific. Inboard Blake's gift to Gilbert to Ray. A bounce. Stretching Geelong here. Kicking to Revolt, but just a bit wide. But don't they love it, those Saints fans?
We're seeing the one Achilles heels of that Geelong midfield. When the opposition get the ball, they can get run away from. Winning it in the first place, that's the challenge.
After the boundary throw in, Blake did well. Joel Corey, was he held without it? Somehow Got it out to Enright. Hogan trying to step the lad fantastic there, going nowhere either, and we'll have a ball up. This noise is remarkable, as we said, in excess of 54,000. Haven't heard it like this before. It's just reverberating, as I said earlier, around the stadium. Enright goes back to Bartel. Bartel to Ling. Just staying off the pack. Enright, or rather Corey. A couple of them actually. Corey was the chosen one, and Ling got it from Hogan and just popped it across to Enright. Enright comes back towards the middle. Got there in time. Varco. Beautiful hand pass. Mackie. Rook. Varco forced to hold up. Precision. Milburn.
That is Geelong at its best. Its absolute best. Forcing that kick back into the corridor. It's a dangerous kick. It was executed well, and then that opened up the space for them. Again, Varco, good ball control.
Well, a bit riding on this kick. So far, their goal kickers Gary Ablett and Travis Varco. A couple of defenders have come forward to kick goals for the Saints. Milburn does that for Geelong.
He's the old guy in the Geelong side. What a great player he's been, getting close to 250. Just his second goal this season. He got a goal last week, Milburn. Yeah, Varco's kick very important. And that bounce probably could have come back. We'll try again.
He's inside the circle, guys. Coming straight back here, guys. Coming straight back.
So a 4-goal game. Clark. Still Clark. Now Montaigne over the top. Had Archie's back Hayes. Little give because he couldn't get down. And then Burns paddling towards the line. He and Montaigne exchange pleasantries. Both in career best form. Montaigne all season, and certainly Burns over the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's a premiership player, Burns. There's 17 of them out there for the Cats today. Just the one for the Saints, and that was Schneider at Sydney. Good tackle on by Chapman on Baker, and now Ball getting it and then kicking inside the 50. Revolt made a big effort.
Ball's been quiet, just the 3 possessions. Thrown in inside the 50 then. Blake in front, directs it down. Hayes, desperation, launched himself after that one, but there was matching desperation from 2 Cats. And the umpire will do it again. Well, when it's Selwood, it's always going to be tough to win a loose ball. About 30 metres out from goal then. Plenty of space goal side. Hogan to Selwood. Comes away. Selwood took them on. Chapman over the top. Selwood lost the GPS. Ball close to the line. Chapman over the top. Pushing the back. Goes against Schneider. The idea was right from Chapman. Just to lay it up in front of Selwood.
You just settle. Let me worry about that, okay? You settle down.
Too much concern. Chapman, left half back. Kicks it up to the wing. Mooney attracts a crowd. 3 Saints up with him. Goddard still got the crumb. That's remarkable. To Ray, to Baker. Blake, time bounds, plenty of time. Short one, half volley. Dawson goes back to Blake. Varco's got him, holding the ball.
It's been important, Varco. Now Mooney looking up. Long kick, Ablett. And plays on and kicks the goal. Why? Who knows? But it is Ablett.
Yes, why is a very good question. But the chase down tackle, St Kilda put that on Geelong early in the game, but the Varco chase down tackle, as soon as the turnovers in that part of the ground will end defences really unposition. Ablett had Jones, Cole. I guess he's only 15 metres out, but the grubber kick seems to be the fashion at this point of footy.
Funny shaped ball, ours, though, isn't it?
Well, he is what he is. He's a champ. Champs do that sort of stuff.
Well, he's got Jones now playing at full back on him, Gary Ablett. They're 1 goal each.
closest they've been since the 5-minute mark of the opening term. Spills across the ball, feeds it to McWalter, kicks inside the forward 50. What a beautiful kick. Tailor-made. Schneider goes in, and how's that for a quick reply?
Boys, disaster for Geelong. Darren Milburn's really showing out there. Appears to have a bit of a knee injury. He's looking at the bench now, needing some help. So I reckon after this centre bounce, he'll be straight to the bench for some treatment.
So that is a blow. Milburn, Kelly waiting to get on. Chapman has been busy. Rook, Ablett, held up in the tackle. That was good play by Blake to hold Rook at bay. He's a hard man. He's a raging bull. Fisher, bit of a fumble. Varco, unlucky for him, but now Gilbert besieged. Ball still to come out. There is Milburn, as Rick told us. Those hard bodies, you want all of them out there for Geelong right now.
Here we go, boys.
So the Cats inside their 50. Blake, Varco having a busy 10 minutes. Dawson, Goddard. He's a cool cat, Goddard, playing for the Saints. And there you go. I must have blown on that ball to work it out as they work on Milburn here. Looks like it's down low a bit. Mackie back to Taylor. Taylor back to Mackie. We've talked about the way he delivers.
That's why.
Now, already talked about Cam Mooney lining up the goal, but Tom Hawkins hasn't enjoyed kicking for goal from set shots all year either. I mean, he's always looking to pass the ball off. It seems to me, though, he's already decided exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go back, concentrate, get his rhythm right.
I'd like to see him kick it hard, to try and kick the ball firmly and get a bit of forward motion through his kicking action, really kick it firmly.
He's actually kicked 13 goals, 6 from set shots. That one just fading, but I'm with you. I mean, we're all with you. The fact he doesn't feel like he's had a good season at set shots. He must have missed a few out of bounds, but that one is a miss. So the Cats again get a bit of a miss there, 4-5 to 8-3. So a 4-goal game still.
Del Santo short. This is Ray. Ray drives it towards half forward. Searching run for Revolt. Awkward half volley. Got his chest to take the pace off it. Enright. Ling tries to go to Kelly. Kelly gets a fist and puts it out of bounds.
They're testing Revolt's hamstrings this afternoon, aren't they?
Just he runs hard. He just runs so hard.
Just no respite. The stadium pulsating at the moment. It's like my son's car with a stereo. You get in there, it's always on stun. No one has taken a breath watching this game. Montagna comes away. Kick comes to Bartel. Coughed it up. Geary. Montagna. Bartel anxious to make amends. Got back in time. Enright fed it forward. Selwood. Ablett. Heard a voice. Hogan. An unfamiliar voice. Having to go here, Selwood. He's outnumbered. He keeps it in. Wonderful stuff, Joel Selwood. Pounds it back, though. And Enright trying to slap it down was Hayes. Enright goes again. Montagna slides in. And the umpire has called for the footy.
Love the way Bartelli made a hand passing error, but then he made sure he cleaned up his own mess and went and laid the tackle on Montagna.
He's had 16 disposals, Bartelli's done a lot of the hard stuff.
Fisher's been slowed. He's on 15. He had 12 at quarter time.
Hayes, so good in the clearances. Geary run down. Montagna, clever little toe poke forward. Jones getting onto it. Couldn't quite pick it up. Well done, Kelly. To Ablett, Jones's opponent. Ablett forced to go wide. Chapman, well done. It was a good kick, and Chappie honoured it. Ran hard. So Chapman now up to 14 disposals. Dangerous kick. Might open up here. Kazitsky couldn't quite get going on those legs. Chapman back to Varco. Varco might take Cozzy on here. Over the top. Kelly back to Varco. He'll be tired by now. And Gilbert puts him into the turf. Now Clark at centre wing.
Varco had to get it out of bounds is what he had to do. Here's Kazitsky. Thought about going. Taking it all in, Mark Thompson. The kick inside the 450. Terrific Mark Bartel. The Brownlow medalist launched himself as if he came off a trampoline. Stokes, Ling on the wing. Joel Corey doesn't kick too many goals. Joel Corey trouble. He's made it hard. Good snap, miracle goal. Terrific. Well, he's got the initials for it.
So Joel Corey come on the ground 20 seconds earlier for Mackie and kicks the goal.
What about that mark though to Bartel at centre back? I mean that was a bit of play that actually set the goal up initially.
Well, the next 5 minutes tells a tale, doesn't it? Geelong closing on the Saints. Schneider with plenty of time and wobbles it to McWalter, who'd got it to Schneider earlier for goal in this quarter. McWalter's kick not so good. Good contest though from Newham. Kelly, well done. They're holding up the Cats here in the tackles. Now Taylor backtracking. Good kick though to Selwood. Geelong are coming at the Saints. Ling.
Fantastic cover defence by the St Kilda defenders. They just all left to opponents, about 3 of them, to come up to the player upfield.
Burns, Hawkins, well placed. And Gilbert there.
And the reason why McWalter's had so much of the ball this afternoon is because he's actually been picked up by Harley. Harley doesn't want to pick him up. He actually wants to go back and help the big guys. We see Harley coming off the ground at the moment. He's a smart player, McWalter.
Boundary throw in just inside the 50 then. Tap down in front. Hogan hasn't been out of his class today. Gilbert hand passes towards the boundary. It's out. And some of the prime movers for the Cats. Bartel 18 possessions. Selwood 14. Chapman 50. And Ablett 16. Not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. They're working overtime. Getting plenty of it. The St Kilda lead. Goddard, who's been good. Smothered off the boot. Touched off the boot there of Jones. Joel Corey. Good chippered from Corey after he got it down to Ling, but stolen away by Ray. Montagna blindsided, completely unexpected. Well, what did the umpire say? It was too high. Just play on, was it? He was lucky. Montagna. Gardner comes away, lumbering, goes down towards half forward. Kazitsky going back as Milne goes in that direction. Enright will need to kill it. Did well, and he's getting a free kick. Well done, Corey Enright. Sensed the danger, got to the contest.
What about the attack on the ball in the air from Nick Revolt, though? He took off from about 75 metres away, running with the flow of the ball.
Dangerous kick. Ray couldn't quite hold it up. Bartel. Well, he's been magnificent, Bartel. Ling also one of those prime movers that Dennis talking about. 14 disposals. There's Revolt.
All of those disposals have been under pressure, though, Bruce. They have attacked Cameron Ling this afternoon.
Munford won the tap. Selwood brilliant. Burns. Rook went to ground. Fisher took the mark. It's probably a silly thing to say. You almost feel like the Saints need another one before half-time. Geelong closing the gap just by a little bit in this term, but it's a giant shadow they cast, isn't it?
They can't afford to let the Cats get another one.
No. Clark, hands and knees. Jones under pressure. Ablett, well, Jones did very, very well.
Fantastic stuff by Jones. Around the boundary. Selwood came to him. High ball inside the forward 53. Cats up with Revolt. And it's out of bounds.
Bartel again getting back there to help out the backline defence. He's almost playing the role of Tom Harley this afternoon.
Small player who can jump. Worth their weight in gold. Boundary throw in. Ball in trouble. Way at close quarters. Revolt. Enright chesting him. Ablett can't get free.
But the great teams have second options because Gilbert has now become the floating St Kilda defender. They're trying, Rook is trying to make sure Fisher can't get clear, but he does a very good job also at covering for his opponent. Geelong got 2 or 3, so has St Kilda.
The tempo has been remarkable so far as the kick comes in from McWalter. Getting back, it's taken by Enright. Just pops it across to Mackie. Mackie feeds it back. Harry Taylor, dangerous kick. Chapman will need to go. Landed hard, did Chapman. Montagna got the crumb. Comes across towards Mackie. Out of there somehow by Selwood. Or was it Corey? It was Corey who got it out. Chapman goes back. Scarlett up the middle. Kelly holds it up.
And then plays on. Caught. Oh, clever by Hayes, I think, to Montagna. just missing.
That was the one.
They are just an instinctive side, though, Geelong. It doesn't matter what stage the game is at. Their first inclination is to move on with the ball. I mean, that was a time maybe where they could have just been a little bit more composed and slowed the play down, but they want to get the game going. They want to attack even when they're in the back half.
And sometimes when you go to a dangerous place, if it comes off, it's the best place to go to.
It's just been the most magnificent exhibition of skills under pressure, because the pressure that both teams are applying is extreme, and both teams offensively are still coping.
So Kelly's kick, almost to the sanctuary of the boundary line, wasn't it? So the Cats 17 points behind. Only twice have they won in this 55 out of 58 when they've trailed at half-time, Geelong.
How often has that been?
Back, please, fellas.
On the two occasions, well, very rarely, you're right. They've been in front 13 out of 13 at half-time this year. They won't beat today, obviously. Hayes hacking forward. Reevil almost. Dalsando got a little handball. Jones couldn't quite. Kelly over the line.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Dalsando's pulled forward and pulled Ling deep into the fence, which is, I suspect, where St Kilda would like that match up to be.
Revolt threw his body in again there. Down goes Joel Corey, and that ball stays in.
Thanks, guys. Straight up. Thanks, Joel. Straight away.
He's been inspirational. Set the tone from the opening minutes with that wonderful mark running back with the flight of the footy.
He's only had 5 possessions, but that's how valuable he can be without the footy in your hands.
A tone setter. Selwood just lurking off the pack, had a half chance at that ball, and the umpire will do it again. So we're down to 14 seconds. So often in sport, when you've got a hyped contest, they invariably don't live up to the hype. Well, this one is living up to the hype. It deserves a big finish from here. And you get the feeling it could well happen. Mumford knocks it down. Ball out of the congestion. Sit down. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, danger, but Enright made it. And then again flirting in the corridor. So what a half we've seen. Record AFL crowd under the roof at Etihad Stadium. Saints kicked the first 5. No Steve Johnson for Geelong. And at half-time, St Kilda lead 52-35 on Sunday footy. Behind any match at half-time in season 2009. So the Saints here as well. So both the teams back out. Ricky with Bomber Thompson.
Well, Bomber, it was a horror start for you guys, but you're able to work yourself back into the game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great start, but yeah, we've sort of been able to sort of maintain a really solid effort against them. It's a good game of footy, though.
Yeah, it's been a ripping game of footy. You've been able to get the ball inside 50 and up. You know, haven't been able to convert into goals. Have you reshuffled your lineup at all?
We have a little bit, but not too much. You know, it'd be great if Moons and Big Tom could get some, but hopefully a few of the smaller guys can stay home a little bit more and get some from the ground.
And just a quick one on Milburn. He went off just before half-time with the ankle injury. What's your update on him?
Going to give him a try, mate, see if he's any good.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Thanks, Bomber. Got you, mate. Up.
Have to watch that then. There's Moons and there's Big Tom. The message is on the street. At the other end, as we said, not a lot of the footy, but he has been a presence, Nick Revolt. For the moment at least, Milburn will start on the bench, so they're not testing right now. Jimmy Bartell, 21 possessions, leads all comers. He's been quite outstanding so far for the team that's behind.
And Dennis, he's done some of his best work back across half-back too. Tom Harley there on the screen. They've really been able to take his influence away from this game the way they've played in this afternoon, St Kilda. Whether or not he can get busy in this second half and help out that back line remains to be seen. But they've worked him out of the equation so far, St Kilda.
At the risk of repeating myself, let's find out now who is really number 1. Start of the third term. Hangs over Gardner with the run, Blake. Selwood's got it. Oh, met solidly. But strange as it sounds, that really helped him. Got the hand pass away to Joel Corey, goes long. A slip down there, Rook almost the mark. Raf Clark gets back just in the nick of time to Graham. Hayes is on the move. He's got it at right half back. Hayes drives it around the outer side. Beautiful kick. Gardner on the boundary line. Tries to feed it back in. That was clumsy. Enright did brilliantly. Got a hand to it. Gave it across to Ablett. Blake. Enright again. Bartell. Chapman through midfield. Clever. Chapman 55 metres out. Vacant goal line. All touched right on the line by Fisher going back. Behind.
But a promising start for the Cats nonetheless, isn't it? Schneider at half-back. Saints kicked the first 5 goals of the opening term and they kicked the first 2 goals of the second quarter. I'm not sure if Geelong could concede the first 2 goals here and win now. So they need to make a mark pretty early. Dawson needs a bounce. Bartell got him. Montagna, well, holding the ball. Probably just too far out. Chapman.
He's on all Bartell, hasn't he? Right across half-back, 4 inside 50s. He's had 4 tackles, 2 clearances and 23 disposals so far.
So Chapman, who just was thwarted by centimetres a moment ago on the run, you would think this could be a similar result. He's right on his limit, you would think. What a great player he is, Chappie. Kicks from 55. Not going to be a goal. And St Kilda happy to let it go through with a little push from Dawson. And Goddard to retrieve another ball to bring it back in. So the Cats in their forward 50 as we open the second half. And St Kilda turn it over. Bad kick from Fisher. Hawkins to Selwood.
Selwood gives it a lot of air. Bartell has to stretch, and that hurt. That really hurt. And it was the fault of his teammate. Don't know what Mackey's upset about. That was a terrible kick. And the little one can see what he's upset about. The little guy stood his ground. So Bartell, I'd venture to say too far out to score. Well, Chapman can't score from here. Goes long down towards full forward. In from the side. Rook almost. Burns over the football. Bounces to his feet. Close to the boundary line. Raf Clark. Goddard. Schneider. Plenty of time for Schneider. Needs to be precise, and he was. That was a terrific mark. Wonderful kick. Kazitsky to the wing. Graham has to wait. Flooding back now, this Saints. Schneider is one of them. Should have marked it, put it on the deck, flicks it between his legs. Harley's got it, in desperate trouble. Ablett goes in.
A few moments ago we saw Kaczynski coming right up the wing. He's done that on a number of occasions this afternoon. He's trying to drag Scarlett with him and just disrupt that Geelong back line. They've been successful.
Just handed it to Jones, and then Hayes, but Mackey taking off, should take it. He couldn't quite get to the fall of the ball. Cats with a lot of numbers. Ling's work rate, so impressive. Corey coming across from half-back. Clark should mark, decided to go safety to the boundary line. Down to you, Rick.
Just on Darren Milburn, his right ankle's very heavily shut. There he is there doing a bit of a stretch. He's just done a bit of a run through around the boundary line. You can see him there going down. He's really in pain when he does some lateral movements, so we will see him again. His output will be limited.
So keep a watch on that. Jones couldn't quite. Blake, oh, Goddard, well done. Joel Corey pushing forward. Chapman, such a hard man to bring down in the tackle. Bartell yet again. Mooney, clever. Selwood, good-looking kick. Hawkins couldn't quite. It's in good hands, though. Ablett, still Ablett. Breaks 1-2. Good tackling, though, and then Hawkins.
Gee, Ablett knew what he was doing then, but Hawkins didn't know what Ablett was doing. He actually should have made himself a target then, but he thought that Gary was going to go all the way with that ball, turned his back on it, and in the end, an attack on the goal was amounted to nothing.
So good with ball in hands, Ablett, isn't he? Just so hard to tackle.
I'm not sure he trusted Tom. Varco. Blake over the football. A lot of humanity to shift. They shifted him. Hayes to midfield. Revolt was up. Camped in front. Kelly. Bartel again. Taylor. Incessant pressure from the Cats now. Oh, terrific mark. Gilbert goes back. Takes the mark. Gilbert.
Sorry, Dennis, I was just about to say Hawkins then really wasn't concentrating nearly enough. He should have been aware of the fact that the ball was going to come back. Had his back on play, had to turn around, and by then, that moment, the moment was lost.
Graham with the overview. Drives it along the outer side wing. Gardner was up, knocked away by Blake. Harley slips a hand pass away. Kelly tracks it back towards half-back. Now this man, Mackie, meters in the clear. Looks down towards half-forward, not sure about the kick. Ablett under pressure. Jones there step for step. Ablett's hand pass misses. Going back is Corey. Confronted. Goes to Mackie but too late. Great running by Montagna. He sensed the danger, got across, put pressure on Mackie, and Geelong are very lucky.
The game's just opened up a little bit too in the early part of this third quarter for Geelong.
So Mackie, one put Chapman under pressure, Del Santo, and Lynn with him.
That's what we've seen in St Kilda all year, though, that Geelong have pretty much dominated this first 6 or 7 minutes, but a couple of behinds is their net result on the scoreboard.
Gardner, unopposed, hooked it back to Graham, had to fish for it. Selwood so good there, and then he threw it out.
One hand throw.
It was good umpiring because he wasn't in a great position.
He didn't try very hard to disguise it though either, did he, Selwood?
Goddard got it from Del Santo. Important ball here. Revolt with Taylor, and then Revolt bringing it back. Kosicki and Gardner, and Gardner stands tall. Cossie's down, but Gardner's got it. And he's hurt Kosicki. There's always going to be a combative ball inboard. So Gardner, who's done well kicking goals this year, 7-3 from set shots. He got a goal earlier today. That's important.
Effort there by Blake too. He should have done more. He's a defender when he's placed at that part of the ground, and he has to defend. Straight off the ground there, Mumford back on.
Stephen King. I was going to say mixed emotions. That wouldn't be correct. Bartel trying to find a way through. The narrowest of openings. Didn't get through. So McAvoy is on the ball for what is a crucial part in this game. Mumford directs it down. Ablett taken front on by Hayes. That combination of Selwood, Ablett, and also Bartel. Perhaps all that stands between the Saints and a victory now. Varco kicks inside the forward 50. Gilbert. Mind you, it's not a bad combination. Blake. Good kick. Hands in the back, surely. Schneider gets the free.
It's been busy, Schneider.
Okay, what's Steve Baker? Moving on! Play on!
Second season with the Saints, coming from that premiership team, Sydney. Goes to Revolt at centre wing. Corey fell over. Saints can hold it up here. This is a good result for them now. Talked about Revolt's influence, not big possessions, but 2 goals, and he has staked his claim on this match.
Holding Lee Montagna, free kick. Free kick to Lee Montagna. Lee Montagna had his own free kick for a hold.
So against Corey Enright, Montagna had a busy first half, 14 disposals. Kosicki's on a very long lead at centre half forward. It's gone right back to Baker. Baker's got Dawson out this side. That's the way he's going to go. So the Saints patient. Good kick.
Well, Blake, Gilbert sold into trouble. Manages. Not a good kick though. Harley committed everything to taking the mark. Plays on quickly though to Kelly, who provided run over the head of Hogan. Gilbert again bounces off Hogan. Untidy hand pass behind Montagna. Gilbert goes back and does well. Made amends. Ball. Gave it across to Blake in the short chip to Gilbert. So Gilbert picked up a few stats there. Just pops it over the man on the mark, and running in behind that man is Ball. So a brief respite. Haven't had many of those. Gilbert again in the action. Beats a couple. Drives inside the forward 50. Revolt. Outmaneuvered by Taylor. That was classic.
And that's just a bloke who's got some confidence playing the ball and not playing the man. Just picking the ball in flight. Terrific defensive play.
Gets it back from Ablett. And Rook so strong in the air.
Just getting back the ball too. Just 33 minutes he played in the first half. So maybe they were saving him for a bigger second half.
Rook's kick. Corey couldn't quite take it, but he got it to Enright, to Stokes, to Ablett through the centre corridor. Back turn, Stokes, Scarlett, Mackey's wide. He's going to go with a little dinky kick. And Mackey, a lovely finisher within range.
I think it's fair to say they've got to get one of these, Geelong. They can't get any sitters, any point-blank range shots, but they've got to be able to lob one of these runs from near the 50-metre line. They just keep coming through the centre square. And Ablett's ability just to take on the tackler.
Well, it was such an important mark by Taylor, wasn't it, a moment ago, and a one-on-one with Revolt. And Mackey has struck it sweetly and kicked the goal that Geelong needed so desperately.
I mentioned Darren Milburn's got a very heavily strapped ankle, just come onto the ground, and he's moved to full forward, unusual role for Milburn, and picked up by Blake. So I'm sure Bomber Thompson wants to try and get a goal out of him.
St Kilda got the first 5 goals of the game, led by 19 at quarter time, 17 at half time. Now it's 15. The Cats are creeping.
That says a lot too, doesn't it? Tom Hawkins is still sitting on the bench, and they prefer somebody who's injured playing as a key forward other than the man who's been earmarked to take one of those key posts for them.
Can you be unearmarked? Bounce alongside the centre circles. Mumford clatters to the ground. Lenny Hayes relishes that situation. In and under.
Thanks, guys. Straight up.
It's like a ferocious attack on the ball at close quarters. Of course, there's that great fear. If either side get into space, you're going to be in trouble.
Well done by Mumford again. Down decisively. The ball guys. Chapman got it from Ablett to Stokes. That's a beautiful kick. Almost the involuntary mark there. Had he kept coming, it would have tattooed his chest. And
another 50-metre shot. Maybe the long-distance shot is what he needs to kick firmly through the footy.
Their work around the stoppages has been good this quarter.
Let's see what he does. Cam Mooney, the kick, the result, the roar.
Mooney with his first. Geelong hasn't been this close since the 4-minute mark of the opening term. Can they get within a kick by getting the next goal? McAvoy in the ruck, won by Mumford. Here is Milburn, back to Mumford. Rook's the target, over the back. Stokes becoming important. Rook to Selwood, left foot, it's going to roll, and it's going to roll through for a goal. They're within a kick.
For Selwood, he finished 5th in the best and fairest last season. You'd expect him to do much better this season, but bear in mind, winning the best and fairest at Geelong is a bit like winning Miss Venezuela. It's back in the middle. Rucks go at it. On the way down, Mumford knocked it down, got it again. Selwood's got it again. Feeds it wide. The Cats are coming. Taken by Burns, floats one down towards half forward and pitches out of bounds. 3 points the difference.
They were never going to roll over, were they, St.Kilda?
No.
I mean, Geelong, they were never, ever going to just roll over and allow somebody to take the crown.
They're no longer a blur in the rear vision mirror. Two giant cat's eyes are staring at the Saints right here. Bounce it left half forward. Geelong's attacking in. 58 plays 55. McAvoy has been tested during Gardner's break as the ball goes out towards the boundary and goes across the line. It'll be thrown in.
Talk about a blur in the rear vision. I reckon St Kilda feel like they're driving across another ball right now.
Mumford's been good too since he came back on the ground to replace Blake.
Still such a lot of footy to be played in this game. Hayes couldn't get an effective kick away. Selwood, well, what a player he is. Mackie, Corey, and Corey with a torpedo wide, in right onto it. Varco will get it. No, he goes longer. Wanting Mackie. And then Mackie's got Varco inside if he wants to go there. He does. Varco off one step basically floats to full forward. Uncertain there, Graham. Stokes, Rook. Rook bashing his way through. Stokes in hard and so was Bartel. And then Rook takes them all on. Still to come out. Goddard. Clark. The pressure almost unbearable. The kick out wide. Bull. Well done, Selwood. Out of play.
You just keep waiting for there just be a respite for a minute or two, but the pressure has just been there every second.
I'm sure Bryce and Marie sitting quietly at home, the Selwoods, just watching this. They've seen a bit of footy in their time. Nothing they haven't seen. Well, this is top shelf. Mumford knocked it down, stolen by Hayes to midfield and Milne. Can they get a goal? Can they stop this at the moment? It's a run. Kicks to half forward. Well done, Taylor. Sloppy by Harley. Comes to Schneider. Farron Ray goes to the pocket. Kazitsky on the lead. Okay, deep breath. Must kick the goal.
That's a great handball there from Schneider. That ball was moved all the way from the stoppage at the other end of the ground. Mumford actually tapped the ball over the back expecting somebody to be there, but it was only Hayes.
Kazitsky misses.
Just wonder how many shots the big guys are going to get now, don't you, Revolt and Kazitsky? They've got to take them they had in the first half. He'll remember this day. Be reminded at least. Taylor, after a bit of a shaky start, done very well in this term. Corey to centre wing. Oh, good. Harper, Milburn, the injured one. And quickly away too, nobody on the mark. Well-weighted kick, Stokes again. Talked about his contribution in this quarter. Stokes to centre half forward. Mooney front spot. Rook to help. Burns trying to get through. Handball, Bull got it almost. And then Dawson over the top. And Rook and Mooney are so important in these one-on-one contests.
Rook just plays like the ball down there. He just charges at that ball second effort. And he's just drawn a couple of stoppages when the ball may have disappeared just by charging in head first at it.
Hasn't that picture changed? Ross Lyon feeling the pressure now. Blake, was he taken high? Nope.
Can't see anything, boys.
Not good coming from an umpire, but he missed just at that moment. 30 metres out. They lock up again. Hayes, terrific stuff. Goddard to the boundary. Goes out of bounds. Ricky Olorenshaw.
Just want to keep an eye on Dennis. Gary Ablett came straight to the bench and asked the physio to work on his calf. He's completely feeling some tightness in there, but he had a bit of rub on it and just said the physio feels much better.
Gardner did well decisively. Montagna's kick, though, onto the chest of Mackie. Mackie has been good in this term. Short to Corey. There's a space for Selwood to come into. He leads, but that's ignored. Dropping in behind that space, Bartel. Oh, gee, that's a clever kick. Mooney read it pretty well too. Goes to Bartel. That was a great tackle by Dawson to get Mooney down. Well, as a result of a stalemate, Geelong have got the ball. Burns, the angle opens up for the left footer, sends it long down towards full forward. Good mark, Gilbert.
Now Hawkins, I might have been a bit critical of him this afternoon, but he actually had to make an impact at that contest. There was 2 or 3 players behind, but he just had to hit bodies. I mean, Rook's been doing that in this third quarter, just making impact, hitting bodies whenever he can. As a forward, you've got to bring the ball to ground.
Gilbert's playing a wonderful game, isn't he? He got up. And now Blake. It's Gilbert to Goddard to Graham to Blake. Back to Goddard to Graham. Has to go backwards again. Geelong's thrown everything at the Saints in this term. Still hasn't got the lead. Blake to Baker. Again they retreat. Gilbert is so elusive. He's a very hard man to bring down. Out wide. Gee, that was always going to be a bit of a worry for Kazitsky. And he didn't take the mark. And Geelong have a little win.
That is a big win. Whenever you can just draw the ball, get the ball back off the opposition when they're in control back there.
Now players late getting to a contest, and I think it's Hawkins who's given away a free kick.
Scarlett's no longer coming right up the ground with Kazitsky. They're shuffling their players, so he's actually trying to stay in the back half and let Kazitsky come right up the wing.
Got Gardner deep in the forward line with Blake playing as a defender, which is not a good matchup for Geelong.
Goddard, a beautiful kick. Ralph Clark, no option but to mark. Del Santo, just get the feeling now that the Saints have found a little something. Well, Harley just missed the ball. Blake on the lead, revolt. Less than 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Revolt's kicked a couple.
Harry Taylor just threw his arms up in the air. Then it wasn't about the fact that Revolt had actually taken the mark. He couldn't do anything to stop that. He wanted somebody to come into that space and actually occupy that space, that leading space that Revolt had.
Nick Revolt off the side of the boot. This one slides across the face of goal, out of bounds on the full. Geelong ball.
So Kazitsky and Revolt both missing gettables here in this term. They haven't had too many chances to kick goals, the Saints. Chapman had to retreat. Good kick to Harley. We've seen the worst of Geelong early in this match, but I reckon we've seen the best of them too today, as they've closed this gap. Chapman. Well done by Milne. Well, that was a difficult ball for Ablett, and now he's outnumbered.
That was excellent play by Ablett to actually roll onto his back and put the ball in the air. Yeah. So there was no chance he would be pinged for falling on the footy.
A lot of fast twitch fibres in the body and the IQ to match, and here he goes again. Hawkins the target. Goes early and Gilbert. Very good. Gilbert.
Walked against James Blake. He ran straight at Hawkins.
I think it's a free to Hawkins, isn't it?
You looked straight at Hawkins.
Well,
to Shepherd.
So Hawkins with the free.
So they did that well. I thought they disguised it pretty well, actually, then, St Kilda.
So Hawkins with a free kick. As Bruce said to Bartell, back to Hawkins. Not how they drew it up. Hawkins kicks long down towards full forward. 3 St Kilda players come to the football. And a great mark is taken by Blake.
Here's a free kick there. Umpire saying that Blake actually leant back into Hawkins, took his run into the ball. I didn't think that was a free kick at all.
Kazitsky. Now Goddard is running. Goddard kicks beyond the wing. Revolt straight up like a jumping jack. Gets around Taylor. 55 metres out. Can Corey get back? I doubt he can.
He's been good, the skipper. Goddard's long, beautiful kick, and then Revolt finishing it off. A little bit of breathing space late in this third term. Cats made a move. Saints hold their little edge. Ablett, search for it. Chapman, Ablett.
In the back.
It's still going to be Geelong's ability to construct a forward line capable of kicking enough goals this afternoon. It's either going to win them the game
Milburn the target. Now Gilbert's got to get back. What a game he's had. I was going to say third quarter. Good tackle by Stokes. Ball still hasn't come out. Baker and Rook.
No private chinny ball.
See, that would be some battle between Baker and Rook.
Straight back here. Thanks, mate. Coming through.
Gardner Blake probably won it. Jones got through. Graham. Good distance kick, actually. Revolt again. Uses Montagna.
Still mine.
Kaczynski. It's a free kick to Cozzy.
Hand in the back. Hand your hand in his back. Pass up. Lay up.
It's getting no one can get shots from close in. There's too much pressure.
Gone short to Graham. Important ball this. Turnover. Selwood. Mooney.
Oh.
Is it 50? He needed it. Well, the first half was as good as it gets.
Same thing as
And do you know what?
Couldn't mark at the same time.
That probably went up a notch. That makes no sense at all, I know.
If you bought a ticket to this game, you got your money's worth.
Those two American footballers have done pretty well, haven't they? First time to the footy. So at three-quarter time, St Kilda hanging on. Geelong continue to close the margin. It's a 10-point one. It's 65 to 55 on Sunday footy. And you can see that the margin has been wilting. It was 19-17 and now down to 10. So Geelong closing. Lee, who's got to stand up, do you reckon, for the Cats?
Oh, well, I think it's up to Cameron Mooney. Rook is pounding in down there. It's just not working for Hawkins. So I figure if any aerial ball in there, I think Mooney's going to be the one that has to be the Geelong player to get it.
And Tim, what about from St Kilda's point of view?
Well, I think it's still Revolt. I mean, he's kicked 3 goals. He's had just 9 touches. I mean, Taylor's done a reasonable job on him, but we do know that Nick Revolt runs players into the ground, and I reckon there were signs of that late in that third term. His ability to be able to push up the ground, Taylor couldn't go with him. If he can do that and provide that focal point for St Kilda when they come forward, that might be all they need.
Twice Geelong has come from behind at three-quarter time in this streak. Freo last year, Richmond this year. Down to you, Ricky.
Thanks, Macco. I had a good close look at both sides of that three-quarter time huddle. I reckon St Kilda are looking a little bit fresher. We know that Geelong gave them a 5-goal start at the start of the game. They've had to work so hard to get back into this game. Harry Taylor had his jaw checked at three-quarter time, a bit of a concern there. Also, Cameron Mooney's got very, very sore ribs from that last marking contest. We know Milburn's carrying an ankle problem, so Geelong are feeling the pinch at the moment. Just one thing you need to be aware of, Geelong have only won 1 of their last 5 final quarters, so there might be a question mark on their fitness there. And boys, the crowd is unbelievable. I cannot remember hearing the sound of anything like it in a home and away game. So whoever can get this first goal can really get the momentum behind them.
We've been feeling that up here, that's for sure. Under Ross line, when leading at three-quarter time, the Saints are 34-1.
And just a question for Ricky down there. Ricky, have you caught up with Terence Newman and Courtney Brown since this game started?
No, I haven't, Dennis, but I am taking them out tonight. I reckon they do all right in the nightclubs.
Well, I tell you what,
they'd be a good wingman.
They'd be counting their blessings, wouldn't they? All that money. They must be feeling a bit guilty after watching this.
Well, you don't reckon they have to earn it in that game?
Not compared to what we've seen this afternoon. You know I'm a big fan, but this has been something special. No pads, no helmets, just go at it.
Listen to that crowd.
They haven't stopped. The roof is closed, so this noise is just bouncing around. It must be so hard to play. Start of the final term on a Sunday. Saints lead it by 10. They kicked the first 5 goals of the game. Neither ruckman touched it. Ling, long break on the bench. Approaching three-quarter time, back in the action. Umpire throws it up this time. Gardner reaches over the top. Selwood won a hard ball. Rook needs to be careful. That will hurt. He was bent back. Legs underneath him. Quite dangerous.
Just fantastic. So he just forces himself to the footy in those bodies. Just forces his hands to the ball.
So Blake, Gardner, Corey, the third man up. Fisher.
On the ball. This, 10.
It's didn't dispose of it correctly. And Rook gets an important free kick for Geelong. Low one, Chapman. And again, a 50-metre shot if he goes for it. Now plays on to get some momentum. He's corralled. Enright, Chapman. Still can't quite get the right angle. Selwood loads up. It won't be a goal. It just had to get it into the right player's hands. But seen Geelong with the ball at 50 a lot today, haven't we? Gilbert's such an important player for the Saints. Ray couldn't take the mark. They've got some numbers. Hayes, very, very good. Lovely kick to Revo. Inboard. Fisher. Hayes again. Now Kozitzki wants it and he's going to find him. That's a lovely build-up. He's got players running, Cozzy. Can he go the distance? Well, he has to now. He had a couple of options. They were 50-50s and he thought, I'll take responsibility.
He's got the length. It's only a matter of whether we can kick it this accurately from this long, long range.
About to find out. Looking good. Looking very good. He's kicked it. The Twin Towers have got 5 between them.
Wonderful kick. Everything is on the line now. Aretha Franklin sang about it. Now they're playing for it. Rucks go at it. Fell at their feet. Selwood again. Such a willing worker. Clattered in there. Del Santo flicks it out. Graham. Will the Cats buckle? It comes down towards half forward. Falling to the ground, Mackey coughed it up. Graham slams a hand pass into the path of Schneider. Getting back was the big guy Mumford. Still going was Jones. Schneider slipped over. Crawling after it, Mumford. Picked up by Goddard. Whoop. Across the line, Montagna.
He was caught. Well called, Dennis. So that was outstanding play there by Mumford, the big ruckman, to chase the St Kilda play down there. I reckon he gives them a lot more momentum around the ground too, Mumford, than what Blake's been able to give them this afternoon.
Yep. Goddard from Gardner, and then Kelly over the top. Milne with a little one, a dinky one, but cut off. Just couldn't get enough on it.
Oh, came the wrong side of the post.
That's behind.
So point. So obviously Taylor took the mark over the line.
Just a metre back for me, Nick.
No, he took the mark, but he backed back into the behind slot and then kicked the ball out through between the two goal posts, which means it automatic behind.
He was well inside, thanks, Lee. So Chapman.
Thanks, Justin.
Not much room for error now for Geelong, is it? They're 3 goals down. It's been such a tight match.
Play on.
Just 8 goals for them in 3 quarters.
Gardner reaches over the top, knocked it down, disciplined stuff. Del Santo, Baker, Ray, now Hayes. Kicks inside the forward 50. Revolt attracted a crowd. Ball spills in front. Ling did well. Enright, Taylor. Ling under pressure. Ablett from half-back kept his head. Chapman been terrific.
Right out, guys! Right out! Right out, Gary!
It's their bottom-tier players for Geelong who haven't performed today. Straight to Gardner. There's no doubt about saying something nice about a player. What happens next? There's Montagna. Runs down towards right half forward. Centering kick. Had plenty of time. Harley.
Start at the back, please.
Haven't seen him do that much this afternoon, Tom Harley. That's normally his bread and butter, that type of kick. Coming in, a long high kick into the opposition forward line.
Taylor to Corey. Got to take chances here, the Cats, when they're coming out of the 50, and they did then. Varco up to centre wing. Corey running hard. Varco's got too much on it. Ray didn't take it cleanly, though. They rode him out of it. Varco, ball still in. Varco, toe poking to Burns. Baker takes him over the line.
One of the things you know about confident defence is if you get a chance to jump third up, they'll jump third up and mark. And Gilbert's been doing it all day, and Harley just set himself for that as well.
Hawkins, Gardner's second effort, terrific after winning the tap.
Opportunity held in. Good tackle. Thanks, Tom. This way, Tom. Coming through, guys.
Tom's got to do something. Forget about the past. Live in the present. Selwood, Rook. Little fumble from Ablett. Tries to fight his way out of there. Taken down by Ray. Saints come away with it. Hayes kicks to the wing. Hands in the back. Mackie. We've got the arm, says the umpire.
It's where Geelong have to spread. They have to choose the width across the centre of the ground, but St Kilda covering it very well.
Lee, right out.
Mackie takes something off the kick. Mooney approached it rather tentatively. Burns, 65 metres out. Goes looking for Chapman on the bounce. Dragged down Bartell. Hurriedly onto the boot. Floats towards the square. Well done by Blake. Kept his head. Now Gilbert decides to run it up.
Missed the tackle.
Varco, Lee was talking about, so Ray.
Coming into this game, it was the #1 defensive side in the competition against the #1 attacking side, and we've always been taught that defence defeats attack in big games, and that's exactly how it's played out so far.
Well, I think they've had an average of about 58 points kicked against them all year, St Kilda.
They are incredibly difficult to score against.
Geelong hasn't quite got to that number yet. Baker was going to go to Hayes, decided against it. Del Santo on the wrong side for him. That's a good kick though. To Graham, and then Graham delivers to centre half forward. Milne's in a very good position. His half volley was good. He slipped, and the handball not that effective. Though Fisher squeezes it. Revolt misses it. Gardner loping in, gets a boot to it. Munford gets back, and his handball hit the behind post. And okay, was that out in the full? So Montagna, Gardner's kicked his third, and the Saints lead by 4 kicks.
What a great play. Well, here's what happened. Great call by the official. Under the knee. How unlucky can you be? And Gardner, what a pronounced influence he's had. 3 goals. Some holding.
By the jumper, Jimmy Bartell.
Well, on one side, Bartell was being held. On the other, Benny Hayes was being held.
There's a big ask now. They need to kick more than 4 goals to win. They've kicked 8 in 3 quarters and a bit of footy.
Chapman against 3. Wow. Hayes. Blake. Umpire Bozo did well. Blake through midfield. Kelly. Milne. Clark. Jones. Kelly. Milburn back on the ground. Nursing a bad knee. Jones threaded out. Graham. The spiral. Nobody back. How will it bounce towards the boundary line? Kaczynski heard the call from his mate. Across the face of goal. Ball. Couldn't get boot to, you know what? A chance here for Mackie. Mackie out of defence. Finds Taylor and they build again.
Just hanging on the Cats. Enright, good mark, Chapman. Little kick from Milburn, and now Varco. Burns has got some space here. He'll attack the goal and go for it, giving it a ride. Not a good kick. Oh, awful in the end.
So they're great though, St Kilda, that defensive unit. They'll allow you a kick from outside 50, but they just won't allow you back inside the arc.
So the biggest attendance ever for an AFL game here at Etihad Stadium, Docklands. The 10th season of footy here. Hayes to Goddard, to McAvoy, to Del Santo. Did well to McAvoy. Hayes has had a wonderful last quarter. Another good kick. Milne's got Revolt running. Can it bounce for the room? No. Scarlett had to get off his man. Should have been a free kick. Taylor, Kelly, Bartell. Back to Hogan, back to Bartell, back to Enright. Wanted Ablett initially. Hogan over the top. Ling needs the bounce. He gets it. Can he deliver now? Looks for Burns. Clark belts it away.
And Macca, the problem's not being able to find somebody to dish the ball off to in the midfield. The problem's when they look like getting inside their forward line. There's just nobody who's breaking from their man and getting any space whatsoever.
It's amazing that Mark Thompson hasn't made at least one change in that forward line. Bartell knocks it. He's had 30 possessions, only as far as Goddard to Clark. Comes out wide. Fisher pushes Hogan across the line.
It's been a big loss, Johnson not being able to play in this game for Geelong, because he's just one more dangerous forward that St Kilda would have had to watch.
Selwood is back on the ground. Montagna on his knees. Hayes, what a game he's played. Floats it up towards the wing. Harley kept coming. Finds it on the ground. Kicks to half forward. Going back is Gilbert. Giving a contest down there was Mooney. Ricochets off Burns. Comes to Milburn. Milburn pops it up for Burns. Wonderful stuff there by Blake. Burns in pursuit. Will it stay in? Gilbert's tracking him. Gilbert got him. Wonderful despairing tackle. It comes back to Milburn. He's got it just outside the 50. Short one on the strong mark. No. Ablett put it down. Varco trying to find a way through. Hand passes towards full forward. Knocked down by Ralph Clark. Knocked out by Varco. Taken by Rook. And by hook or by crook. Rook has kicked a goal.
What an effort by Rook, and what pressure from both teams there. Can Geelong get an easy goal? You feel like they need one, don't they? But they're still in this match. Very much so. Blake won the tap. Ray couldn't get an effective disposal there. Bartel. Well done, Graham. Montagna running hard. Still Montagna. Good kick. Revolt on the burst. And then Revolt goes to centre half forward. Rook crashing and bashing and going for goal. Schneider and missing the lot.
That's just pressure. He actually had a bit of time there, Schneider, but well aware of the fact that he hasn't had any time or space all day. Just put the ball quickly on his boot.
So Ablett over the top. Corey in right danger here. Kelly's in trouble. I reckon he might be gone.
Didn't drag it in. No, he didn't. He actually grabbed it and went to ground, and then you tackled him. He didn't drag it in.
That's really been the story of the day. Geelong's handball just can't seem to release into a player into space. The hand pass receiver's under pressure as well.
Very open goal side here. Kelly. Bit lucky moments ago. Del Santo towards full forward. Getting back. Rook did well. He was tentative going at that one. The player's still uncertain about that rule.
That's all.
Brought the ball up.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
And Andrew Mackey's got the Rewald matchup just for the time being. Maybe just Taylor's just having a spell.
Wrong end of the ground here for the Cats. Spills out of the pack. Little 1-2 there from Hogan across towards Selwood. Taken by Ablett. Chapman set a task. Hasn't got the football. Still oodles of time. Just under 10 minutes.
So Chapman to Mackey.
Gee, that's hard running.
Del Santo's got him. Play on call. Baker to try and fetch it. He can't. His leg, surely. Oh.
Back! Advantage!
So advantage to the Saints. Gilbert. Good kick. Kaczynski up the ground. That's not such a good kick.
Well done.
Well, Bartel has played one of the best games of his career, the Brownlow medalist. It's 50 against Schneider, I think.
It'd have to be just inside 50 from that.
So Bartel will take the kick.
The Rays are saying that wasn't disposable.
I think they would have been much better without the 50-metre penalty as it turned out, because it was like broken play, and Geelong, there was a lot of free players.
I reckon you might have had your hands up in the air, whereas you had them in okay.
Just outside his range again here too, Bartel, so they're going to have to find another kick, another target inside 50. And this is where St Kilda have been so great all afternoon defending.
Well, he uses Chapman. He tries a spiral, doesn't get onto it. Gardner falling over. It's a goal. It's gone all the way.
The irony. Gardner, victim to the slippery turf. It's back in the middle. 12-6, 10-7. 9 points the difference. The other 11. Getting excited. Chapman goes back. Still thinking about his good fortune. Corey is running off half-back. Down the throat of Mooney. And Mooney hung on.
No, hold it. No, hold it. Don't do it themselves. 50, thanks.
8 of the 22 goals have been kicked from outside 50, and we saw Cam Mooney unload one before. His kicking action is often better when he knows he has to really kick the ball hard.
Umpire Vozzo channeling Dr. Phil. Here comes the kick from Mooney. Long bomb. Right on the line, knocked forward. Goal umpire says goal.
So much time suddenly, isn't there? Geelong with 3 quick goals. And that deafening roar gets... even Loudy threw it, Clark. Chapman off the ground. Burns, good pick-up. Hayes onto him. Ablett in hard. Baker's little gift, terrific. Jones, good. Hayes, so good in this turn. Low kick, lovely kick. Revolt. Kazitsky's on the burst. Revolt goes over the top. That's a lovely kick to Milne.
Oh boy, how's that context on that half-back flank? I mean, just the intensity and the effort. St Kilda won it.
Take him out.
He doesn't love set shots, Milne, does he? He's happiest when he's snapping and running. 5 goals, 6 from set shots this year. It's floating and wobbling. It's a goal.
Ten kicks, 1 goal. Stephen Milne back out to 11 points. Can the Cats find something again? Mumford straight down to Hayes. Hayes towards half forward. Revolt got a hand to it. Geelong, no margin for error now. Well done, Kelly. Soccer off the ground, Corey. Diving after the football, Montagna. Fed it to McWalter. Goals beckon. Del Santo misses. That's Australian for oops.
Selwood again held up in the tackle. Chapman to Rook.
Well, they're out here.
Bartell's on. Bartell's got a panic.
Got the numbers here. He's got to carry it.
Goes low with a beautiful kick to Milburn.
Sam, 1 metre back here.
He just thought his way through it brilliantly, Bartell, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he had the ability to execute the kick too. It was a long, hard, low, flat kick. It had to get there quickly. Gilbert was closing quickly.
Those legs had to be aching, Tim.
They must be just about out on their feet, some of these players.
Good move by Bomber to put Milburn to full forward. Not sure the last time he kicked 2 goals in a match, but he's got it now. Geelong come again.
They say dead cats bounce. I think that's what we've seen this afternoon.
9 lives, Tim.
And Mark Thompson stayed loyal for a long time to Tom Hawkins, but he had to make that move. And suddenly Milburn has produced a couple of goals. Back in the middle, Bartell, Sublime, Ling, Corey. Wide to Selwood. 4 names that really hurt any opposition the moment they hear them. The kick goes down towards the pocket. Out of 5th. Ablett lurking. Applies a tackle on Gilbert. It's out of bounds. Boundary throw-in.
I don't think the umpire was watching it the whole time. I think Ablett would have got the free if the umpire was watching the contest in front of the footy.
Hayes, yet another clearance in this last quarter. Mackie worked to the front. Corey, 3rd man up. Revolt important. Goddard's normally a beautiful kick because he needs the bounce. He did well. Goes back. Right thing to do. McWalter. Hayes. Tired. Very tired. Brought down. Wonderful tackle by Selwood. And then another good tackle by Montagna.
That clearance at the other end, we saw that in the 3rd quarter where they tapped the ball over the back in the forward pocket. Hayes has been sitting there all afternoon just waiting for it. They actually palmed the ball back down to him again.
He's had 10 clearances, Lenny Hayes.
Been outstanding. Gardner only as far as Chapman. Advantage is paid. Ringers away. A goal to level the scores.
Again.
Cats are surging. Ling in midfield. Mooney on the lead. Man on the flank. Stokes wants the football. Give it to him. Goes wide. Stokes has got it now. Open goal. Steers it tide. And the tide is rolling for the Cats.
He did it again, Selwood. He's untackleable. If that's a word. I mean, twice. He's actually, he was nailed in the sound, that one there. But he got the ball clear. And as soon as he's actually got his tackler out of position, then all of a sudden the flow happens. Geelong had the spares in and Mooney was able to find Stokes.
This was a clinical finish, though, too, by Stokes.
Yep.
Just steadied himself, composed himself. What about a celebration?
No, I'm tingling and I'm not playing.
He wishes he was. He's had a foot in both camps over the years, King. Well, maybe we will have two unbeaten teams at the end of the day.
Yes.
They've led for 113 of the 115 minutes, St.Kilda. Geelong's never been in front. Bartel again, inside 50. Mooney. Well, Lee, you talked about Mooney. And
I was going to say about Bartel. Bartel may have had games where he's had more possessions, but I don't think he's had more influence ever in a game of football.
No,
he has just been magnificent.
Seeing the Brownlow medalist at his best, aren't we? Gardner won the tap. Hayes held on to.
I mean, sometimes stats don't mean a lot, but if you've got the ball in your hands today, you've earned it.
Revolt continuing to work in this last quarter. And Hayes and Revolt have combined a number of times in this fourth term.
Gilbert has been so good. Blake up towards half-back.
Clark in the middle.
Clark now. Open forward line. Kazitsky's on the move. Attracts the football. Scarlett goes with him. Kazitsky was held. No free kick. Charging in there, Milne. Ball squirts out. Mackie to Milburn to Enright. Oh, Mumford. Oh, Mumford did well. Kelly. Chapman. Not again. Don't ask it twice. Mumford was in trouble.
Now
Chapman.
they're clear. Now they're out.
Mackie. This place is going ballistic. Around the outer side. Hogan goes down towards half forward. Opportunity in front. Blake went to ground. Goddard kept his head. Ball's got the footy to half forward. Jones against the boundary. Pulsating stuff. End to end. Throwing himself at the football is Nick Revolt.
Just that work rate. Revolt to full forward. Milne almost. They need a score. Mackie. Blake, well, the big guys are being asked some big questions, aren't they? Blake's handball to Mackie, to Enright. Well, 3 minutes to go. Scores are level.
They're out on their feet.
Ablett did very well. Fisher gets back. Good tackle. Rook brings him down. Ablett's taken down. In hard Rook. Corey with Clark. Free kick to Corey. The advantage is given, I think. Play on. Varco brought down. Bull's got him. McWalter works. Back to Blake. Back to McWalter. Jones. Big call by the umpire there. And then Jones at half back. Down the line. Revolt and Taylor. Ball bouncing. Still in. Taken by Milburn. Little handball. Back to Chapman.
They can barely pick their legs up. Taylor to half forward. Three Saints lurking at the back, Fisher.
Not one Geelong forward moved then to the ball. They just couldn't.
Goddard. This deserves a draw.
Now it's a game of keeping off because it's broken play. There'll be teammates clear. Just must hold possession.
Dawson to Del Santo. Gilbert involved earlier. Montagna's got it on the wing. Over the shoulder. No 50.
Ball's free here too.
Montagna. Always dangerous with the ball in his hands. Goes to Luke Ball. Dropping back is Revolt. It's in his ballpark. Gardner! The giant from the west. The cat is down He hasn't moved. Well, he is moving slightly. That's Harry.
Harry Taylor.
Oh.
Hawks, go through. Chamber, go through, mate. Chamber, go through the end zone. No, the other way, mate. Chop out.
The runner just going out there and telling the Geelong players how long there is to go of this last quarter as well, so they'll know they've got one last chance to launch a scoring opportunity should this be a goal. So it was an elbow to his head there. I mean, that was a heavy, sickening crash there from Gardner.
Harry seems to be on top of things, just taking his own mouth guard out. Hopefully he's okay. What a marvellous mark it was by the giant from the west. Another West Australian paying the price. So you get the feeling Gardner will kick his 4th goal, and if he does, Geelong have a minute 20.
I was going to say, Tim, pointing it out, every player on the ground now knows how long there is to play, don't they?
It's a good point.
They're both huddling too. They're all in there in a group, just talking about what they need to do to play this game out. St Kilda will know that once they kick this goal, all they'll need to do is just get behind the ball and close down the space.
It's a risky business, though, against such quality opposition, such fleet-footed opposition, isn't it? Big decision for the coaching staff. Do you close it down or do you push on?
No, you close it down now, Dennis. At this stage of the game, you put your nose in front and you just close it down.
And so Taylor taking plenty of care here. And for Gardner, it's a bit like having a 4-foot putt and not being able to finish it off and coming back the next day, isn't it? I mean, we've given him the goal, but he hasn't quite kicked it yet.
A rain delay, Bruce. A rain delay at the Dome. This has had everything. So Gardner has had plenty of time to think about this. Taylor is off the ground. Ross Lyon willing this kick through. If he kicks it, you doubt St Kilda can lose. He's kicked it.
That's been a really valuable contribution by Gardner, those 4 goals. And basically, generally speaking, ruckmen are poor defenders. They haven't really got the speed to go with their direct opponent. And again, we've seen King, basically Blake, basically looking sort of real defensively. If your opponent jumps, you've got to jump yourself. But Blake just didn't quite have the speed to get in there. And when Gardner launched himself at it, he's kicked some very valuable goals.
So down to a minute. It's Gardner's 30th birthday today and he's kicked 4. Saints all going back behind the ball. It's a great shot of it. Geelong need every bit of luck they can get now. Del Santo hacks it forward. Revolt, well done, Mackie. Pressure, Hogan, just his 2nd match. Montagna cuts it off. Little give. Free kick.
Geelong through.
Oh, so technical against Milne. So Kelly to Corey. And Corey wide. To Corey Enright. This is the last roll of the dice. Mumford to Enright. Enright to half forward.
Mooney uses his body illegally. So now St Kilda will just kick it around. Geelong racing back to pick up the men.
Geelong have been good enough to get back to make sure he has to kick it over the man on the mark.
Kazitsky close to the boundary line. Gardner rises like a colossus. We talked about him before the game. Attack them at their weakness. And although Mumford's been okay, St Kilda win.
Match of the ages.
Now in the AFL, there is just one undefeated team. It is St Kilda, 14-7 to 13-7. Let's go down to Ricky Olorenshaw with the victorious captain.
Thanks, Dan. The noise is unbelievable. Nick, what an unbelievable game of footy.
Yeah, it certainly was. Lived up to all expectations, I suppose. They're a terrific side. You know, there's two sides going at it pretty hard all day. And I think the scoreline's pretty indicative of how close it was throughout the day.
What about the start you had? It was an amazing start to kick the first 5 goals.
Yeah, it was a great start. You know, they're a very quality outfit, so they responded, which they were always going to do. Got a lot of respect for them.
When it was a minute and 20 to go and Gardy had the ball in his hand, what were you saying to your teammates?
Oh, we were just talking about, you know, the ifs and buts. If he kicks it, if he misses, the way we're going to set up, but that was about it. Okay. We're pretty confident.
Mate, super game of footy. Well played today. Thanks, Nick. Ta, mate.
Well, the skipper came to play this afternoon. He booted 3 goals. Gardner could have got money on that. The leading goal scorer on the ground with 4, including the one that clinched it. But meant St Kilda and not Geelong would stay undefeated. Lee?
Well, just amazing. I think what it proves is there is another team that actually is capable of beating the champ. I think you get Ottens and Johnson back in, that might make a little difference later on.
So we're none the wiser. Let's go down to Ricky.
Thanks, Dan. With the man of the moment, Michael Gardner. Mate, how nervous were you lining up for that goal?
No, just sort of, it kept my nerve. I mean, you know, I was only 10 or 15 out, so you've got to kick those ones.
You had to wait a long time for it, though.
I had to wait a long time for it, but, you know, you've got a routine, you stick to it, and, you know, you kick the goals.
Must be a lot of belief in this lineup, being such a good side.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was only a round 14 match, but, you know, it was good to, they're the benchmark, and it was good to, you know, to put ourselves up against them.
Wouldn't think it was just a home and away game with the noise that this mob are making.
Plenty of noise. I mean, it's a great stadium with the roof on. You know, the sound was awesome.
Well played, mate. Thanks, Gardy. Tell you, mate.
He was once a great player. He was a great player again today.
He was, yeah. It's an amazing comeback from, obviously, he's a first-round draft choice many years ago. But fantastic.
I said we're none the wiser, Lee, but are we?
Oh, there's some heroics out there. Joel Selwood, I mean, I know they didn't get up Geelong, but the way he attacked the ball, and he was really just one of the 36 out there. That just the intensity of the footy, the tackling pressure of St Kilda, that just, they never allowed Geelong to get into the clear, and that 3 or 4 goals when they jumped in the first 10 minutes, that's what's actually won them the game, but Geelong got on to him, so to kick that last goal, just a fantastic morale booster.
You're talking about Warriors. You mentioned Joel Selwood. Bartel had 37, and on the opposite side, Lenny Hayes outstanding with 32. Tim Watson.
Well, Joey, have you ever played in a game like that?
No, not really. The crowd was unbelievable, yeah. The crowd was amazing today. Finals-like atmosphere and terrific win by the boys.
You knew they'd come at you again. They're a champion team. They didn't disappoint.
Oh, no, we knew that the whole time. We just had to keep digging in, sticking to our structures, and credit to the boys, we fought it out.
And the start you got today was so important.
Yeah, we knew that. You know, the start's always important in good games. We got off to a flyer. We really got to maintain it, and the boys did that, and it was a great win.
I mean, everyone was talking about it was only a 4-point game. Did it feel like it was much more to you as a group of players today, though?
Oh, look, we'll assess it during the week. I mean, it's a great effort, but still a long way to go in the year. We'll take learnings from it, and hopefully we can continue to improve.
Thanks for your time, Joey.
Thanks, Tim.
So the battle of the two unbeatens came down to that one single kick, that crash bash mark of Gardner. 14-7 to 13-7, 91-85. The Saints over the Cats. Big game today, a big night tonight with Dancing with the Stars coming back. Let's join Daniel McPherson.